Listen to all that Floyd Rose abuse right there. I'm not really... I appreciate what a Floyd Rose does. But boy, do I not want them. Like, actually, no. Let me rephrase. I actually really enjoy Floyd Rose bridges. But they have to be immobilized. They have to be blocked. Or they have to be, like, just dropped in. Like, Dino Cazares or Mick Thompson. Have them just dropped into the guitars without actually... they don't move. There's not even a cavity for them to move or any spring work or anything. They're just like... That's it. I love that. How do you guys doing? What's going on? Kyle, Hunter, Cody, Stokes, Pedro, Death Form Archive. Nice. From the start of the stream, brother. Look at you go. Nice to see everybody. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to stream today or not. It was weird. Like, I wanted to, then I didn't, then I did, then I didn't, and I did. And then I have to go to this weird part of town to get my cat's food that I hate going to. I hate driving to this part of town because it's always so fucking hectic. And so I'm like, do I do it? Do I not? And then I'm like, nah, I'm just going to go tomorrow. Saturday afternoon traffic is always much better than Friday early evening traffic I find in my area. How's it going? Brain Dead, nice. Nice to see you too. We're hanging out today. What are we hanging out with? Well, we're going to hang out with Amp Locker. I noticed what I didn't know about Amp Locker, guys, is what I didn't know about Amp Locker is that it's weird. You get this. Okay, so there's this subscription series. Sorry, the subscription ability. You get the subscription. If you get the subscription, you get all the amps. What is this hair hanging? Where is it? Where is this hair? There it is. I can see it. All right. You get all the amps. And you get all the pedals. But you don't get all the cabinets. Which I get. Because Brian has put a lot of work into these. And it's a lot more work than just being able to give these away for $5 a month. So there's what they give you inside. By the way, my name is Tyler. Welcome to the Ensign Show. We're just getting right into it today. Instead of like, well, we're going to be bullshitting plenty. You guys know how it works around here. We talk a lot of shit. And we talk about stuff that's not even remotely related to Amp Lock or the product at hand. That's just the way we do here. All right. So here to the, let's go to the screen. Here are the cabinets you get. By the way, Audio Assault, you guys need a 410 section because they're mixing the 410s in with the 412s. Doesn't really work for me. Unless these are all 412 base cabinets, which I don't know that they are, but even still, I don't think these should pop up in the guitar when you're trying to isolate guitar cabinets. Again, why is there always something in my left eye? Always the left eye. Every stream. I don't understand it. Like clockwork. Always something in my freaking left eye. Anyways, and it's still fucking there too. Awesome. Anyways, I don't really want the bass cabs popping up when I'm looking for guitar cabinets. I think this could be easy enough to fix by just taking these all out of this search criteria. All these search results rather. And there's just lumping them under bass and just leaving them under bass. I don't really want to see the as I'm just talking, not me, like as the user. I don't think the user should see these. Anyways, here's the nice selection. By the way, there's some add-on packs here. The Glenn Drover and Barry amp packs have been added on. Again, I have to look and mind my eye for whatever is going on here. Oh, wait. Okay, I think we might have dealt with it. Finally. All right, guys, let's get this chat going. Let's go. Just bought the Tony amp. Gotta try it tonight. Nice. We're gonna try it today, but not with this guitar. I might even just leave it for the next Doom Tomb. We'll see. And we'll do like an amp, maybe an amp locker only Doom Tomb. That could be fun. In any event. These are the cabs that you get. Okay? There's a nice selection. Don't get me wrong. There's a really nice selection. I just don't I see 410, Finder, Rumble, 410. The average user is not going to know that these are bass cabs unless they go into bass and they see it here. But then if I look in bass cabs, they don't pop up. So that's one little thing like that they could probably fix that would make it easier on you, the average user. I know something labeled 410 sub W is probably not for guitar. The average user's not going to, the average newer user might not know that. Okay, so I would put these in the other 410 under, it would just be easy to put a tab here that says 410 and then you're done. Or just bass is fine. Okay. Now, if you want more cabinet sounds, here you go. As far as I understand, that's all that comes with the subscription is right here. You're looking at, which is, wait, just go to default. Default. There's lots in here. SCC Metal, RDA, Major 9, HB, Glaston. I don't know what any of these cabinets are. Califer, I'm assuming, is a mess up. That's terrific. They give you it's a nice, reliable, and versatile selection in here, which is crushing. It's great. However, that being said, if you want more sounds, and I just sent them an email seeing if we could get some more sounds for the average user, because there's a lot in here. Now, is that chainsaw cab in there? I don't know. I don't know exactly. No, I guess the chainsaw. You'd think that like all of the amps they put in would come with the matching cab, and then everything on top of that Brian. By the way, hello to Brian, formerly of, well, I guess he still does C-Cow cabs. Hello to Brian. We go way back. And he does a terrific job over here. I can remember the day these guys linked up, Brian and Audio Assault. It was a match made in heaven or hell, if you're one of those like Satanist people. But it would be cool. Like some of these that are attached directly to an amp would be cool to see inside Amp Locker. I would like to see that. I would like to see it there's some of these, like the PRS, for example, the ones they just added, should come along with the matching and the matched cabinets. or at least one of said matched cabinets. That would probably be a good look. The Tony cab should definitely come with the Tony amp, because the Laney cab and Laney heads, they really do well together. Like, these are like, there are a lot of cabs and heads that go really well together from the same brand, but Laney is one of those ones that's just like, their cabs sound good with almost everything. I had a Laney cab for a long time, but the Laney heads sound better through Laney cabinets. I've heard one through an orange and it sounded phenomenal. But it would be really cool to see some of these, the ones that aren't attached to amps, keep them for sale. I mean, you definitely got to make your money. There's no disputing that. You got to make your money, and then you got to make your money back in the time put in. There's a lot of time put in, right? It would just be cool if some of these, though, like I said, just the ones that are attached to amps would be really cool to see inside the plugin. The Dime, I'd love to see this. I'm hoping to get my hands on. I could just buy it right now. Let's just buy it right now. I'm really buy now. What do I have to do that? Hold on, guys. We're gonna go all face for a second. I don't need y'all seeing my payment details. Hold on, I'm just gonna buy this cab because I really want it. All right. Sorry, guys. Why am I apologizing? I'm showing you guys what you can do with this plugin. The Amp Sim universe. I don't want you guys seeing my PayPal and shit. Sorry. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not going to work. Oops. I'm very interested to see what these crank cabs sound like. Is it nailed? You know what I mean? Oops. Complete order. Let's go. And then let's see what happens. I already did that. Oh, come on, man. Oh, wait a minute. That's not going to work. Guys, I'm going to do this later. This is a bummer right now. I'm going to do this later, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab some of these cabs. We're going to look at them, just some of the ones that are available. Go back to the screen. All right, so again, what's something you guys are interested in? I'm pretty darn interested in that dime pack that's low, that's down here. What else is there? Pardon me, guys. The Dimestein. Has anybody tried the Dimestein cab pack? Why do I feel like Eddie's tried that? Eddie, if Eddie's napping right now, he's just like, somebody mentioned crank. Modern Monsters. That looks interesting to me. The Citrus pack looks interesting to me. HVT pack. The modern. This thing looks cool. That's a neat looking cabinet. I like that look. I wish that was a real cabinet that I could put a real head on top of that was matched in the Tolex and the trim and the piping, rather. That would look really cool. Like it. Hey, Sue. Man, there's lots. So these are all stuff you can buy. This is all stuff that you can get your hands on right now for good prices, too. $5 per pack. I don't know if the pack... Are these all 3D packs? Or are these all just impulse response packs? I have to... Let me look. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure I've got this right. Go to here. $12 mics. 3D cab included and ready to use in with the amp blocker. So it gives you the files and 3D cab ready to use in amp block and the dragging the mic around your 3D cab. That's pretty fucking awesome, guys. That's really cool in my opinion. Speakers based, and so there's 4 different speakers involved here. That's really cool. And so I'm definitely going to buy this pack 100%. I am going to do it. I'm going to do it in between and we'll come back in the second half and I'll just use it Let me know what you guys think. What interests you from this pack, and I'll buy that. Maybe I'll buy that too. If somebody can recommend something that looks really sick, maybe I'll grab that as well. The Heisu. Is there a 412 Heisu as well? Sigma. MCL. That means so they got their hands on. They got their hands on one of those cabs. The MLC cabs. Speakers based on Heisu Demon, DB77 Fane, Retro 30. I'm interested here. It's like $5 is a lot, is so little to give if they actually went and got their hands on this particular cabinet. Like this cabinet is not easy to find. I think they're custom made, and I'm not sure. Either way, that's sick. I kind of want that one as well. All right, let's get to this. Let's get to some tones today. We're going to be testing amp. We're going to be testing it today with actually the Carnivore pack, I think. So I'm going to bypass their impulse responses because we've tried in past streams. We've tried everything they have involved here. But you know what? Just to start out, that's fine. Let's use theirs. And to get a good cab sound, let's start with the Blueberry. This is really, really good. And that way I know what the cab sound is giving me as opposed to just the amp sound, sorry, just the cabinet. Sorry, just the amp and trying to kind of go back and forth. I'm going to use the SCC Metal. Let's do that. Let's do it with a 57 on this side. And let's go on this side with a 414. And we're going to blend it just slightly on this side. And I'm using my EMG loaded average ass Jackson today. All right, let's make sure my level's good. Level seems solid here. The screamer's on. I've got a good tone. Let's switch over to the PRS. The tone is fine for right now. I really want to know what the amp is giving me, though, so I'm going to go ahead and just bypass this just for now. Actually, I'm not going to bypass. I'm just going to load it with what I want to load it with just for the minute. Okay? Wow, these are like buried in there. Okay. And we're going to shut this one off. We're just going to go with the one side, which is fine. And now we'll see what we got here. Okay, that's pretty dark. I don't know why all of a sudden it sounds so dark. Interesting. Okay, let's go back to cabinet for a second here. We're just playing around with some things. That sounded really bright. But you know what? We were also thinking about testing it with the Carnivore pack, but first, let's just test it with what we've got here. And it's a pretty easy to use kind of loader scenario here. Kind of dark. Let's see if we can brighten it up. Sounding pretty good so far. Let's go to the comments here for a sec, guys. I'm not abandoning y'all. The Randall Jaguar is the real dime bag cab. I'm not disputing that. He sold a lot. I'll tell you what, though, he sold a whole hell of a lot more crank cabs than he did Randall Jaguar cabs. I'll tell you that right now. Love the pack for low tunings. There's a new Pierce PRS cab. Haven't tried those. Yeah, but I'd love to see Brian's process. Guys cranking out a pack or two every month. Yeah, every IR developer that I know has a very different process, but, you know, while staying inside the same general process as well, you know? But, yeah, I would be curious. I would also be curious. Don't really like that cab a whole lot. Let's go to the Califer cab. And then we're just gonna... Eventually, I'm gonna move over to the carnivore IRs. Because I'm not done testing those yet, but let's see what we got here first. It's sounding beefy. What do you guys think so far? Okay, so far, so good. I think we can do better. We're going to shut off their IR loader altogether. I'm going to use my own. Not because I don't like it, but just because workflow. This is the IR loader inside here is fantastic. I want to point that out. All right. But we're going to test some more of this incredible carnivore pack, and we're going to do it with the PRS. All right, getting a little nicer. Now, I don't find the quality level of the PRs. I like how they just called it the PRS. PIR. It's like the frenetic PRS. I like it. I like that's cheeky. I like that. The Archon 50 here so far is not doing as I want it to do. Whereas I find, like, again, if we go back, and this is, my opinion, one of the best amps in the entirety of Audio Assault. It sounds solid. I wouldn't say we're beyond solid right now. So I know this amp sounds... I've gotten some pretty good sounds in the past with this amp. So that leads me to believe that let's move along with the impulse response. By the way, it's the EMG 81, EMG 80, and an EMG 60. Sorry, the 81 and the 60, and there's an 18-volt mod on the inside, meaning that there's just two batteries that are linked together instead. Okay, so we've got this sounding pretty good. Okay, so I want to blend some things here. Where are we right now? Cabinet Chaos, all the grind and all the meat. We're gonna do that. We're gonna blend these together in our own nice way. Just moved into an apartment. That's my favorite amp sim from AA. What, the Blueberry? Yeah, I know what. Actually, no, I'm going to take that back. This is not the best sounding. Pedro actually reminded me there's some other things. The Dymos last time. This was the one that was crushing our souls last time. I just had to remember that. This one sounded really good last time. So let's see if we can find some impulse responses to match the Demos. I was actually shocked how good this one sounded last time out. Last time out, this one was like flooring us. Okay, so now we're going to lay off on this a little bit. It's sounding solid. Let's just keep kind of going through files here. Oh, that's going to be that's the bright one. I forgot. Why does that sound like two IRs inside each other? If I didn't know any better, that was two IRs inside each other. But although there is a cabinet that does give that kind of sound as well. So I'm not mocking or talking any shit here because this pack is fucking amazing. Let's go and show you guys the pack we are discussing right now. Thanks so much to Thomas, as the AR actually just straight up ghosted me. I was like, oh, okay. It's happened plenty of times. I'm like, I'm a nobody, but usually it's like a polite yes or no, not a simply a. In any event, Christian, thanks to Christian as well for reaching out on my behalf. But thank you to Thomas here on the team for hooking me up. It's very nice. I'm going to pay him back, of course, but still, this is wonderful of him. This is the pack we are testing today based on a brand new speaker that is not even out yet in physical form. I don't know that there's anyone on the planet right now that has this speaker yet. I think that after the pre-orders, then they're doing the first run. I don't think there's actually anybody out there right now that has one. And I did ask him the question of whether or not that 39 file was going to be a part of like a new thing, and he didn't get back to me at just yet. So, vocal sickness. Okay, that sounds good. Now I keep forgetting we're using EMGs here, so let's scoop it out a bit. Remember, if you're using EMGs and you're trying for mids, there's going to be that weird section of lower mids inside EMGs. Pretty much the majority of EMGs have this weird hump in the lower mids that I wish I could just kind of force down a little bit lower, but it is where it is. So typically for me, I really like to scoop out EMGs, not viciously, although that is a fun sound for thrash. I like to just shave it off until that edge of that, just that those low mids kind of going away a bit. And that is that right there. So now we're cracking. You're still going to get plenty of those like nice throaty mids, but you have to lay off those mid controls first. There's still plenty of mids there, guys. That's the note I was looking for. That's sounding much better. Let's get the chat going. Yeah, dead. Mine is Dimos. Absolutely. Just moved into an apartment. Music freak. Just moved into an apartment. Hard to play my guitars anywhere as there's a ton of noise and feedback. What do you mean by that exactly? What do you mean by that? You just moved into an apartment. Hard to play my guitars anywhere as there's a ton of noise and feedback. Meaning, are you trying to use your amp sims and there's a ton of noise and feedback? Or do you mean you're trying to use your amp and there's a lot of feedback and noise so you can't because of the neighbors? You have to be more specific. If it's plugins and you're getting a lot of noise, like we get a lot of noise here all the time. There's lots of noise always happening in the background. I've got the denoiser here to take care of it. It's rad. Sounding really nice. Loving it. Tuned in C with EMGs playing through something that's high gain. There's almost no way you're not going to sound like a hardcore band at some point. It's like the key hardcore tuning is C. There's lots of hardcore bands that tune in C. I think Hatebreed tunes in C still. I can't remember exactly. This one and Berserker. Berserker. But yeah, Music Freak. Do be more specific. If it's an analog amp kind of thing and you just can't make noise, well, the answer is very simple. You need to get yourself some plugins. But if it's the fact that you've got a lot of noise going in your plugin setup, like your computer and everything else, you can hear a lot of noise because of maybe this new apartment you moved into. Maybe it's like mine, it's very noisy. I would suggest going and getting yourself the Bertom denoiser right here. This thing is awesome. You even have to be careful with depth controls and low end controls when it comes to working with EMGs. I find you really have to kind of tiptoe around that low mid hump. But if you do that, it's magical. These things can be magical. Let's test some more files here now that we've got something we like. This is Vocal Sickness, which we liked. Raspy and Rich is the next file. This speaker I'm finding so far can kind of sound like just about anything, depending on which mics you're using and all the other things going on. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. This guitar has really come together with these nice white EMGs. Thanks so much to Tommy at EMG for always treating me with just so much respect. And even though I'm an absolute nobody, I think there are some other AR folks that could learn a thing or two from said behavior from one of the best in the business. I like that one, Kentucky Carnivore. That's super thrashy sounding. But guys, we're not just going to be hanging out with the carnivore pack and only the carnivore pack through the whole thing. I wanted to find a really nice sounding file and just kind of give her with some of the random impulse responses today. But we'll see. The next time out with Amp Locker, I'm just going to go and grab some of those packs, those speaker packs, the 5 dueler ones, and see what we can kind of pull out of this. We'll see what else we can kind of pull out of this plugin. So we're just talking, we can also, Fridays, usually we like to talk about what's going on in music, and man, this week has been rough. Losing Ozzy, and of course, and if you're a wrestling fan, also losing Hulk Hogan, man, that's like 2/3 of my childhood right there. Y'all better go protect Weird Al Yankovic, please, because I need at least a few more years to feel like a kid. I'm not saying that lightly. No matter what you thought about Hulk Hogan near the end of his life, as some older people have done, they've said some things that were a little too old school and gotten themselves in a little bit of hot water. And but nonetheless, Hulk Hogan, what he did for the wrestling industry was insane. Like, there's nobody, I don't know that we wouldn't be watching wrestling the same way today without that man. And I don't think I would be either, because I remember the first time we watched wrestling in my house, but I remember there was wrestling, and then Hulk Hogan came into the picture, and then that changed the whole entire game for myself and every friend that I had in the 1980s. That dude was larger than life. You think he was big in the 90s, or you think his name is popular still today? Man, the 80s, nobody didn't know. It's one of those names. I don't think in the 80s, I think 90% of the entire world knew who Hulk Hogan was at that point in time. So yeah, huge thing to happen. We're hanging out. It's Friday today. We like to feature freeware, and we like to feature stuff that is extraordinarily affordable on weekends, on Fridays generally. And so, I mean, this IR pack is not going to fall under what you'd call affordable. So we're going to try and go for something that's maybe a little bit more on the affordable side and go from there. We're going to go with some Dr. Bonkers because, of course, I'm just going to go with my usual. And we're going to just test out some awesome stuff inside Amp Locker today. And the thing that's important to note about Amp Locker is that it's very affordable, guys. This is a super affordable platform. So if, not everyone can afford a subscription service that's $15 or $20 or $30 a month. $5 a month is a lot more manageable for the majority of human beings. That even over the course of a calendar year is not going to equal out the price of a brand new plugin. Whereas for most of these other plugin services, subscription services, these are going to, over the course of a calendar year, are going to cost you roughly as much as about having a premium plugin that you went and purchase. Okay? But it depends on you. $5 a month over the course of 12 months is definitely not going to buy you a premium plugin. That's not even going to buy you a case of beer, but it's not even going to buy you a case of premium beer in most places, or take you out even yourself out to a restaurant, never mind another person with you. So it's pretty affordable if you're talking about the subscription service and having this available to you. And the amount of gear inside here is really, really solid. There's a lot of really great stuff that's represented inside here. There's a bunch of different types of amp sims. When I say different types, the meaning that they were modeled with just a different method or a different amount of development time. For example, this in Reamp and Reamp 2, Reamp Bass, you're getting this quicker and more condensed style of development, in my opinion. Whereas if you go to the what they call the Amp Locker amps, like the one we're using right now, this is a bit of a different story. These are kind of meant to be fully developed, fully modeled amps that are, that have the dynamics and the settings and everything. You can turn everything, and everything is supposed to, the idea is supposed to be respond and dial in authentically. They also have some stuff that they've invented in-house, like the chainsaw amp and the Christmas amp and the Dymos or the Demos, whatever you guys want to call it, the Emperor, and a number of the Slasher. That's the next one we'll go to, the Slasher. I haven't played around with this one a lot. Somebody told me they feel this one kind of sounds like a Bogner. I don't know, so we're going to play around with it right now. That's not bad out of the blocks. Beefarino. Some really cool controls up here. Attack, clarity, shape. I don't know if that's shapes or just makes it louder. Subtle, but I like it. Guys, you're asleep today. That means I'm not doing my job. There's no way I'm doing my job. There's no way you guys are enjoying yourselves today. Yourselves is. It does not seem that way. Do I need to stand on my head? Also, how do you guys feel about wrestling masks? I've been really interested in maybe purchasing a wrestling mask for doing some streaming in. I think that might be kind of interesting and semi-funny at least. We'll see. I want to hope that Oh, wow. Man, we absolutely lost the comments there, guys. Sorry. Shoot. I hate this. I only use amp sims. There's a ton of electrical interference, and I have literally one odd angle where I can turn to reduce it. Okay, guy. Denoiser. That's it. Oh, really? Use these settings, though. Check these settings out. Okay? You literally drag everything to the bottom. Okay? This is what was recommended by the developer. Drag everything to the bottom. Because even if you... Can you hear that? Let's listen. Let's pause this for a sec. Everybody, listen up for a sec here. And if I turn one frequency down, can you hear it? Turn this frequency down. Turn this frequency. That's how much noise this thing is. Listen, check this out. Gone. Not even there. It's not a gate either. It's not just a gate. Listen, the threshold. If this was just a gate, I'll show you what this would be doing. There's the gate. Hang on. So every time you play the guitar, that noise is still there. I mean, let the note hang. Listen. You can still hear the noise. It's just cutting the signal entirely. But with the denoiser, you get rid of it. It just goes away. I don't know where it sends it. I don't care where it sends the noise. I don't want it. Listen. The noise is just gone. This thing is incredible. And you'll notice it's just a little bit peeking through. Just a pinch. And that's not being taken care of. And then when that happens, then I will toss in a basic noise gate. Who'd have thought that the slasher was such an absolute killer. Crusher. A crusher. Let's turn the music back on. You won't even hear the background hiss. Anyway. You want, if you really want to, the guy that showed me that, his name is Jason Zadora, and he sells these JZIR impulse response cabs because the denoiser is so cheap. If you want to thank somebody, honestly, just thank JZIR and purchase one of his packs or something. And in the comments, write, found the denoiser on the AmpSim universe. They told me to come here. His stuff is cool too, by the way. I don't have any of it myself, just because I've never really asked for it. I tried out 5 or 6 of the packs, and they just never made their way to this machine. I just completely forgot about them. But they're very, very cool. Check them out. JZIR, his name is Jason Zadora. He's one of the smartest human beings with all of this stuff that I think I've ever met. The guy is just an absolute ninja. And I wish I had like a pocket Jason Zadora as like a tech wizard in my pocket to just be like, fix this. Because the guy's super smart. So anyways, I owe it all to him. And of course, Bertom, the denoiser. Because without the Bertom denoiser, I would not be able to do these streams. I would not be able to do content or streams or anything. Because listen to what I'm dealing with. Yeah. And that's not just with the high gain stuff either. That can be with just anything, really. So hopefully you guys dig that. I'm glad we could help out Music Freak. Man, like I live in an old building, a really old building that was built in the 1930s or 40s. And this thing has just been renovated and updated and renovated and updated and renovated and painted and updated and renovated over how many decades. So the electrical in this place is just, not to mention I've got 2 cheap LED lights staring me right in the face, a monitor, an iPad. The TV's not on, but there's a fan on over there. Who knows what's being picked up by what, right? So I don't like the cap button as much. I like the react. Whoa! Dun, 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 dun. We're going to be here for a bit today because tomorrow there is no stream. It's not going to be all amp locker. If you guys have any requests for the second half, let me know. I could drop in with that. We're going to be on for a while today because, as mentioned, there's no stream tomorrow. The missus is out of town, so I have jack shit to do here by myself. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be an easygoing evening for me. I'm going to watch some SmackDown, probably a lot of stuff about Hulk Hogan, even though his last appearance in the WWE was not so magical. Not so magical. He got booed, which was what it was. Boy, these sound like EMGs, don't they? If you don't know that specific sound, every active pickup brand has their own signature sound. EMG has this weird little like low mid hump that if you scoop it out just enough, sounds incredible. Although with some amps, you can actually accent the mids a little bit and it won't be. It really depends on the amp and the pedals and such that you're working with, and the guitar as well. For example, for my Mindsinger, it has such a weird low mid hump to the actual instrument that a set of EMGs would be a horrible decision for that guitar. Horrible decision. They would literally amplify where the guitar has that sound, and it would just be like a whole lot of low mids that I wouldn't be able to get rid of. This guitar is pretty, I don't know, this guitar, it's just hasn't had a lot of luck with pickups. A lot of the sets that I've put in this guitar just didn't sound that great with it. This set is staying in the guitar for a while because I actually think it does sound pretty solid for a set of EMGs. But Fishman EMG and the various Seymour Duncan actives all have their own sound. The Fishman sound is kind of boxy, kind of cardboardy, and a little plasticky at times, depending on the set you're using. I find that EMG and Fishman sound nothing alike, so it's really strange that so many people drop one for the other constantly. And they're always back and there are a lot of people I know that are back and forth and everything else, which is fine depending on the sound you're looking for, I guess. But for me, it's EMG all the way for actives. But these Seymour Duncan actives are really, really interesting. I've also been told that there is a new active pickup company. I haven't done a lot of research on this. I was talking to a friend who said that in 2026, there's going to be a new active pickup company coming to market. I know nothing about it. I don't know anything about it. It's all he could say to me. He couldn't really elaborate. It's a friend of mine in the business. He just said, just wait is all he said. Just wait until 2026. There's going to be a new active pickup brand hitting the landscape. So that'll be interesting. How many of the Fishman kids just go, whoa, and they just take their Fishmans and go, get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. And they just, I want the new thing. Get out. There's going to be a lot of people that are just going to like instinctively rush to that over the whatever is hyped. And these things, any new active pickup that hits the market, guys, we all know what happens every time a new active pickup hits the market. Everybody switches to them. Fucking everybody. A few people, key people will switch to them and say, man, these are amazing. And then you'll see this just huge wave of people switch to them. And then how many people will switch back to the originals that they were interested in? Who knows? EMGs do have more low end. I just find Fishman's incredibly boxy. I find that the mids in EMGs are low mids. And I find that I really do have to actively try to get rid of them with the amp or something else. But it doesn't take much. It's just a little bump in the mids somewhere. Let's see what happens if I do it with this amp. I was able to get the mids to come up a bit and have it bite. It really depends on the amp, I guess. So let's hang up. See, that just made the amp really dark sounding as soon as I started turning those down. So anyways, the slasher sounds awesome. I remember a point in time where, if I'm not mistaken, this slasher was supposed to represent some sort of actual slash GNR sort of plugin. Originally, I remember seeing a UI, a tester UI from Audio Assault. This was years ago, that showcased sort of a rock and roll style UI, and it was going to be called the Thrasher. I remember thinking, this is going to be really cool. And I guess they put it on the back burner for a while, and it came out as this, which is a bit, does not give me those slash vibes, but at the same time, it sounds sick. So this thing is pretty awesome as well. If there's anything in here you really want me to get to, let me know, and I'll jump in, no problem. Yeah, that Fishman wave was nuts. It still is pretty. Hold on. Monitors, fans, wireless devices tend to be the worst offenders for noise. Although apparently my GPU has become a source of noise problems as well. I think I need to redo my power supply setup. Yeah, there are a lot of things. Guys, get the Bertom denoiser. It's one of the coolest things ever invented for people that have problems with noise. We're just gonna go with some reamp amps for the second half, guys. I like doing chugs and I just hanging out with you guys, talking shop and just hanging out and just doing what we do. I think I'm also gonna change my shirt for the second half because it is hot in here and I don't want to be hot anymore. I'm not a tropical person. I don't like the heat. Berserker next? Deal. Somebody told you Ken Sussy left Fishman for, and you were saying something, was it you that was saying that he might have got hired at EMG? Holy fuck. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up right now. Ken Sussy leaves Fishman. No, I just see As They Lay Dying stuff. And he's definitely still on their artist page, which I assume he would no longer be if he was no longer working there. Because especially if he was at EMG. There's no universe that Ken Sussy keeps using Fishman products while working at EMG. Can you imagine that? Oh, man. Some of you might not see how that is as funny as it sounded to me, but yeah, that's, if you knew the history here, you have to know the history. What's the Scorpio? What is the Scorpio? It kind of looks like a Soldano, but I'm assuming that it's not. It is though. That sounds like a Soldano to me. That is. We need to handle those mids. Handle them! Why is that so much louder than the rest? Ah! Wow, that's so sensitivo! No. Not gonna work with the EMGs. Again, EMGs I find to be not really that pickup that just is like universally loved by every amp that you're going to throw it into. Like you could take your average PAF Pro from DiMarzio or your average Bill Lawrence L500 XL or there's a number of pickups that are just every amp that you plug them into, the amp seems so excited about it. Just like, man, you're back? Oh, that's so great. We sound so good together. And then when an EMG comes in the room, some amps are just like, oh, this guy again. Fuck. This guy hits me hard. This guy hits me hard. And I don't really like it. It's not really my thing. Ah. All right, let's use this Stein. This one I remember sounding really good last time. It's going to sound good. I can hear it right now. It's toothy. Ooh, delightful. No, we're gonna. Yeah, that's just such an EMG tone. I'm really enjoying it right now. And if you don't know what I mean, if you haven't used enough EMGs, and I think at this point I've probably used 20 sets or 20 something sets of EMGs, and they all carry this little thing that comes along with them. And it's this signature sound that just sort of comes along with the technology somehow. And it just, no matter which set of pickups you're using, humbucker wise, it always seems to just be there. It's because every preamp in EMG pickups aren't the same. It's true, but they have a similar. You know what I mean, though, right, Rudy? When you hear a set of EMGs, you hear that response. You hear that sound. You just know, like you can just tell what you're listening to. You know what I mean? Oh, this is good song. These guys used Insane in the Membrane sample. This is fantastic. Nice. But it's not really guitar music. I have it on the list to make me happy, though. Just occasionally. Death. I will say this, the James Hetfield bridge pickup. I wanted the James Hetfield set, but they don't come in white. They just come in that weird chrome. And I think they come in gold now or something. Gold! Yes, I have. But it was before I solved my noise issues. And when, as you can tell, I was dealing with a lot of noise issues with EMGs especially. They seem to just bring the noise out. So I ended up a lot of the sets ended up either getting sent back, or if they didn't want them back, if they were drilled out, I'd just give them away to just random friends locally and people I knew. That next... Oh, it sounds fantastic, though. Man, I love the crunch of this. I love crank amps, and this does a really good job at giving you a really simplistic idea of what a crank is going to sound like. It just throws it at you and says, here, take it. It gives you a really good idea. You don't have to do a lot of screwing around. It just gives it to you. How the hell's everybody doing? Friday, we've got 9 people in the house. I'm going to take my break. Coming back for another hour and a half. We're going to have some fun tonight. For those of you that cannot stay the whole time, I understand, no problem. But for those of you that have a Friday night with nothing to do, guess what, guys? We're going to talk about video games tonight. We're going to talk about wrestling a bit. We're going to talk about maybe even a little about baseball. Who knows what we're going to get into tonight, but it's all going to be backed by the soundtrack of the Audio Assault Amp Locker. Thank you so much, by the way, to Audio Assault for providing us with the subscription service to be able to showcase for you guys and promote to you guys. As you guys are well aware, I do not promote things that I do not believe in, and this is something that I very much believe in, because while there are a few components inside here that you might see me turn my nose up at, that's okay, because with another guitar, those same components might be a little bit more, I might be more enthused with those. So might you. Who knows? We'll see. And this is one of those plugins that, like any, full suite or mega suite, whatever you guys want to call it, where they give you a bajillion components on all through everything from cabinets to amps, this, that, and the other thing. When you have one of these, and if you don't, it's very likely you're not going to like every single solitary component. But I would say if it's as long as it's 90%, if you like 90% of the stuff in there, what the hell? That is not something you see every day. Okay, but as long as you like 90% of the stuff in there, you're good to go. As long as, the other thing about this is it doesn't really give you empty shells. We've discussed the empty shell syndrome. And the empty shell syndrome is very simple. I coined that, or at least I thought I made it up. But the empty shell syndrome is for plugins like, for example, I don't know, let's pick one out of the sky. Positive Grid, Bias Effects 2. They show you, hey guys, look at this graphic. Here's this graphic. It's this pedal. This pedal. It's based on this pedal. We're going to give you a little history on this pedal. This is when it was released. It was made by this company, and it's now featured in Bias Effects 2 just for you. The guy that we hope doesn't have any idea what this pedal actually sounds like. And you're like, wow, I've never heard of this pedal before, but it's in there, and I've got it. Sounds pretty fucking cool. And then they're counting on that because it doesn't sound anything like it. Thus, the empty graphic shell. So you don't get that here with Audio Assault. amp blocker. You don't get it with amp hub. You don't get it with line 6 Helix native. You don't get it with Amplitude anymore as much. You do get a few, and there are still a few components hanging around in Amplitude that I wish they would just, for fuck's sakes, put them to sleep, guys. Please don't please don't wheel these out for the next one, okay? It's starting to feel like wheeling 90-year-old war veterans out for sporting events that they don't want to be at. This guy went to war. Check it out. He doesn't want to be there. I'm sure he doesn't. He'd be much more comfortable at home. This is where Amplitude needs to do. Every time they put out a new plugin, they're like, guys, but we brought back all the old favorites you like. All this old stuff you need. No, you don't need that anymore. Just forget about that old stuff. Get the first ones. Get them gone. And the cool thing about Amp Blocker is even the ones that we're using right now, one might think that they would go all out for the factory Amp Blocker amps that are all that supposed to be, based on a fully modeled amp. One might think that for the reamp versions, these reamp amps, these are more simplistic. Obviously, they cheaped out on these. They're not going to be as good. They're just throw-ins. Bullshit. These things are some of the absolute best sounding amps inside Amp Blocker. No holds barred, hands down. And we're going to show you guys the reamp amps when I come back for the second half. I haven't decided if I'm going to switch guitars yet. I might, maybe. I actually have the ability to do that again because I've got everything that's strung up and sounding decent. So, but I think we're just going to stick with this because it's sounding nice. We're going to go over the reamp amps when I get back. Maybe some different impulse responses. Maybe check out some more of the pedals. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with me. Like and subscribe at the bottom. We appreciate you being here. We do. And in the second half, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Throw them at me. Go look through the list and throw it at me. If there's something you guys want to hear, through even a specific impulse response that you guys want to hear, I'm down. Just let me know what I'm putting into the chain, and it's done. Thank you again for being here, and I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. Cheers, everybody. Hi, everybody. Take a page out of Donut's book. Hi, everybody. Hell yeah. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. I know that I'm having, I would say, a reasonable day. Today was very uneventful. Excuse me. I am no longer a matching unit here, but that's okay. Because I needed to cool off. Do it now. Cool off. Oh, the rake sucked. Boop. Suena Fantastico Maximo Fernando is in the house. Nice to see you, sir. So I actually finally found a game. I was just like, this whole summer so far, I've just been like, man, I would just love to have a game where I can just like, because I'm on vacation, just the odd day, not all the time because I'm very busy, but just the odd time to just melt into a game for the entire day. And there's nothing I have that's like that. And on vacation, I think that's every gamer's right, is just to spend the odd day doing fucking nothing but laying there on a couch. Do some exercise though. But a day of gaming is sort of just something I need to do once in a while. And I've been bummed out because I didn't have a game that I was really like, I want to play it. Then I decided to crack open Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5, I re-cracked it open. Fantastic. I like the 5650 plus. But is the JH model available in anything but that Chrome? JH EMG set. The headset. Yeah, I'm human. Go away. You can have them in metal, and metal. I don't understand why they don't offer these in their standard EMG. Is the casing part of the sound? I don't understand why they don't offer these in standard EMG colors. But that being said, no, I don't think I could make that work. Maybe I could make that work. Although the Doom, my Doom guitar is my destroyer. And I think that these pickups would work in the destroyer. Like these ones here would look really nice in the destroyer. Ooh, wish I hadn't looked at those. But the problem is that these particular pickups are not going to be good for Doom. EMG 8160 set. These are just an 8160, right? Yeah. So it's just essentially just like the 8160 set, is it not? But just a different look. A stealth-looking set that captures the clarity and punch of a pack. I don't get it. That captures this and that in the passive, but they ended up just going with an 8160 and an 8160 set. Interesting. It can't be because the pole pieces. Okay. But you mean the pole, they can't just do their standard plastic housing for these? Because if they could do these in like a standard plastic housing, then I would have the ability to try them. I guess I could just try one of these, any of these in this guitar, but I think that the white looks really nice. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I tried them once upon a time. It did sound really good. It did sound really good. I remember it sounding so good with the grind pedal. Anyways, let's keep going here. Who wanted me to use what now? Who we got? Try the birth. The what? What am I looking for? The Brith. Ton guitar. Which one am I using? Which one am I using here? What's going on? 50 what? Let's go find it. Go find it. Reamp 1? Oh, we're looking. No, the 5650. No, we're just looking at reamp amps right now. The 51. We can try it though. Let's see what we got. Guys, hang on a second. I forgot. I made one fatal error here. Hold up, please. Sorry. Between in my little off break there, I turned the fan on to get some cool air circulating, and in doing that, I forgot to turn it off. It sounds cool, but I still want to use the reamp stuff for a bit. The special drive, that is not an amp that wants a set of EMGs fired in there. The Freeman. Let's see what the Freeman's got for us. Why did it get louder when I turned the master down? Is hear that hump? It's weird. Sounds nice. Berserker? I could do that. Yeah. I asked him for white ones for your Legator. Yeah, but you got to think that they could just make it. I know that they can't put their regular stuff on it, but can they not just make what they make for that pickup? Can they not just make what they make for that pickup in white? Can they not just be like, guys, we need to fire up a new machine that's going to do this or that? But then that wouldn't be really worth it just for that one set of pickups, then, I guess. I don't know. All of a sudden, my nose is watering now. Nose is watering? Nose is running. Jesus Christ. I like this a lot, actually. Yeah, this guitar actually is quite bright. What's up, amp nerds? Xander Bananas jumping in. Nice to see you, my friend. Legator, that's a company's name I haven't heard in a good while. I remember when Allegaon was with them. Tune. Man, so what are you guys up to this weekend? I am tomorrow running a disc golf demonstration on the property, which is a public conservation space that our new course is going into. It's not finished yet, but tomorrow is this particular conservation area's. It's their day. This is their day. Their like celebratory day of some sort. I don't know what significance it has. Maybe it's like the day that originally it opened or whatever it was. But anyways, they get like literally the Coast Guard comes with a big ass boat and parks it in the harbor of this conservation area, which is on the largest freshwater lake in the world. And we will be running this we throw frisbees, come and try to throw frisbees kind of scenario where we're going to be setting up an easy challenge, a medium challenge, and then the toughest challenge is playing one of the actual finished holes on this course that we're working on right now. A few of the holes are finished, and this one particular hole is finished and will be the advanced or the hard challenge of the day. So it's kind of exciting for us. The problem is I don't like people that much. So I'm bringing, my wife is out of town. So I'm bringing some friends with me, dragging some friends with me to help me with this this venture. It should be a good day. It should be a fun day. That's what I'm doing tomorrow, so I won't be here with you guys. Tonight is just about hanging out and doing not much of anything good. Sunday is going to be spent busting my hump, doing things that probably suck. And then back to Monday. I'll probably be around Monday or Tuesday for you guys, just in case you're wondering about the upcoming streams. Didn't you say your wife got her trucking license or something to that effect? And she's doing a haul and you're going with her? Like, is this her first haul job kind of thing? I'm curious. This is interesting to me. Man, this guitar sounds wonderful now that these are in there. We were going to do another set with Aurora Tone, but I just... Cody's a very busy dude, and we've just been on opposite schedules. I needed to get this guitar has sort of been out of commission for a long time, and I purchased it originally when I started doing streams as a streaming guitar, meaning that it was a brand that I don't normally purchase because I wanted it to feature more than one brand of guitar, Ibanez and Fender. And it is a guitar that I think is aesthetically pleasing for the channel. It looks nice. So I wanted to get it to work. And the last 3 sets of pickups I've had in this guitar have been flat bummers. I'm not gonna, the last set of pickups I had in this was one of the worst sets of pickups I ever tried. And that's the Fishman Fluence Modern Nickel Blades. It was one of the worst sets of pickups I've ever put in this guitar. I did a stream with them. And within 5 minutes, I just hated the stream. I deleted it after. It was not a fun day. I didn't like the pickups at all. I still have them. So if you're out there and you'd like to try them and you think that you can get a good sound out of the nickel blades, tell you what, the ampsimuniverse@gmail.com. If you really want them, just pay me for shipping. They're on their way. Okay? Pay me for shipping, actual shipping, and they'll be on their way to you. You can have them. I have no interest in putting these in a guitar ever again. So, and prior to that, there's this set of Seymour Duncans that came highly recommended by I'm not going to say which set or which user recommended them. There was a viewer, one of our subscribers, so you really need to try this set and that guitar. I went on, and it was a Seymour Duncan set, and I bought them. And I put the set in the guitar, and within 5 to 10 minutes, I did a stream, and it was like, oh my God, these are not good at all. Could not get them sounding anywhere remotely close to the way I would wanted them to sound. at all. There was not, you can just tell sometimes that no matter what height you're going to go to, the pickup is not for you and it's probably not going to work in that instrument. So yeah, that's the scenario here. Dude, you'll pay for shipping? You really, they're also, by the way, they've been direct mounted. Okay? But this is, and these being the open coil nickel blades, they have that circuit board on the bottom of the pickup. So you can't really get too creative with how you're going to fix anything to it, like a nut underneath. So it really depends on you if you really want that. So hit me up. You pay for shipping, they're all yours, and show me an act of kindness in the future, and we're all square. Remember, they're shipping from Canada. So this is the Reamp Freeman, and this thing is sounding pretty solid so far. 12 people in the house. Hi, my name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show. We're hanging out with Amp Locker today. We're using a chain that is made of Amp Locker. And instead of their cabinet section, I'm just using my my Dr. Bonkers EGA 412 414 Hype Reel Mix. That is my my favorite impulse response. I just want to hear what the amps are giving us, and I believe that particular impulse response brings the best out of a lot of different amp sims. So it's very dark. It's quite dark, and this is a darker set of pickups, and I'm still managing to make some pretty nice bright sounds with this set. So by the way, 18-volt modification, 8160 set in white. Nothing else that's super particular about this set other than they're awesome. Dude, I hate when that happens. Get excited to try because of the hype, and then straight up boner kill. I didn't really have any hype. I want to point out that I didn't have any hype in either of those sets. I was talking with the dude from Fishman. He said, hey, is there anything that you want to try at this time? I said, yeah, I would love it. I'll let me look around. I wanted to try a mixed set, and they actually told me I'm not allowed to, which is really weird. I didn't like being told I couldn't use a mixed set. They're like, he's like, he emailed me. He's like, I actually have to ask like the powers that be to see if we can even do that. I was like, really? Okay, that's weird. All right, you guys, they should totally just stop with the madness of sets and let people mix and match Fishman. That would make a lot of people happy. I don't know why you wouldn't fucking do that. EMG lets you do that. Every other company lets you mix and match. I wanted to mix and match the Polyphia dude. What's his name? Tim Henson. I wanted to mix his neck pickup with a nickel blade, and they're like, no, you can't do that. I was like, oh, okay, fine, fuck, whatever. I guess it's no problem. I'll just try the nickel blades. And again, I was instantly, and that was it. That was my last. I'm done with Fishman. I love the Greg Koch set. I'm going to have that in a Telecaster for a long period of time because that Greg Koch set is fantastic. It is an anomaly in that entire lineup. I really think, man, they know their single coils, folks. Their single coils are fan-fucking-tastic. But their humbuckers, they need some work. They admittedly do need some work. They're a bit boxy. They could be a little bit more organic sounding somehow. But I don't really care for them that much. The bright tone. Thank you. That's what you wanted earlier. It said birth earlier. And I didn't know what you wanted. But the bright tone's not, again, the bright tone's not in the reamp amps, dude. Come on. How about I try the two British amps? I don't know how these are going to feel about it, though. No, not today. Not up in here. British gain. How about the British gain instead for now? I really want to try to stick to the reamp amps. So I want to make Ton Guitarra happy. Oh. Again, so good, guys. Some of these reamp amps are some of the best in the business. So good. I paid for reamp and I can't get it to work in amp blocker. What? But I think that email the company. I'm not even going to speculate. They're really good though. Their Audio Assault has some terrific, a terrific response time in their customer support. So I would just email them. They'll hook you up. They'll fix you up. They'll make sure it all sounds good for you. We haven't gone over here. We've just been sort of left the Screamberry alone there. He's like, hello, I'm still here. Does anybody want to play with me? Do they have any ones? Do they have any one knob boosts like the 33 or the 99? So they do. Let's see what they got here. I really like the way that the 33 or grind style pedals, I really like the way that they sound with the EMGs, especially the headset. Rudy, if you have not tried the Nameless suite with the headset, with the grind pedal engaged, oh my gosh, please do. Really gives you that Fear Factory kind of sound, eh? Let's try to stack these actually. I don't know that part. I just tried to pull it out of my ass. Didn't work. Wowzers, that sounds really good. I don't like the Nameless. I don't tune down, so yeah, I don't care if you tune down. The Nameless is based on a Jose modded Marshall. That's what that's basically supposed to be kind of like, is like a severely modified Marshall. And if you have not played in E or E flat in Nameless, not Nameless X, but the original Nameless, I would strongly advise that you do it. Like, strongly advise that you give it a try, because it becomes like Thrashtopia. It's like the original James Hetfield sound. When you put the headset through the original Nameless, or the first Nameless suite, it's like the original James Hetfield sound on steroids. It's fucking awesome. It's just so good. Just try the 14-day free trial, Rudy. Tell me I'm wrong. I would definitely not suggest that you need to tune down to enjoy Nameless, though, because, like I said, it's just based on a heavily modified gain beast of a Marshall, and it crushes. It really does. What is the ML Sound Lab Volcano? What is this supposed to, hold on. It knew what I wanted. Oh, it's a new one. And what'll you give me if this is not as good as the Nembrini Audio or the Neural DSP or the Amp Hub versions? There's a lot of good SLO 100s out there, guys. Like, there's a lot of good ones. What are you going to give me if this one does not? Every time somebody recommends, I'm not going to say every time someone recommends an ML Sound Lab amp sim, it just doesn't work out for me. I'm not really going to say that. I'm just going to say that I never find their plugins executed on the level they could be. You know, just dumping the same old pedal board in there each and every single time without actually catering, say, you know, one or two of them to the actual amp and doing a little extra work on that. It's just like they just keep dropping the amp in the same. It's like they're dropping cartridges in. If you're gonna do something like that, it'd be way cooler to do like a mega suite. Why they haven't considered that at this point, I'm not sure. They should do their own mega suite with they have enough amps. They could definitely get started. They should. AI amp modeling. I don't know what that means. That's word salad. AI. That's amp. There's so much word. I call it word salad. And we talk about it often in our group chat where there's just these words. There are just words that in the industry, a lot of developers, not all, but some developers, and in this case, a lot of new ones, a lot of newer developers, not ML Sound Lab, but a lot of newer developers use these like, just a lot of buzzwords. Lots of buzzwords that just don't mean it. Let me read through this. It's our first plugin to run on Vorna AI. What is that? Which uses advanced AI and deep learning to recreate the sound of these sought-after guitar amps with impressive accuracy. Okay. It captures. The problem is when I turn on the Vorna and turn off the Vorna, I notice absolutely no difference. There's no difference at all in the plugins I've tried. And I've tried most of them. It captures the rich and dynamic nuances right down to the smallest detail. Word salad. This technology opens new possibilities, word salad, and ongoing search for the perfect tone, word salad, word salad. There's a lot of developers doing that. But yes, I am going to try this because you're recommending it, so it must be awesome. And you know, I trust you. Oh boy. Yeah, let's say we did there. I'm going to try. I'm going to email Kai as soon as I'm done, as soon as we're done here, and I'm going to email Kai, and we're going to try it. I also think another thing that's just, it's a missed opportunity. And I wish, and I've said this a million times, and I've said it directly to Miko more than once. You are an impulse response developer that has made some of the greatest files in the history of impulse responses. Include more. Include more. Include more. Because you have access to so many. You could include more cabinets and it wouldn't cost you a dime. You wouldn't have to license them. You own them. You made them. You don't have to license them. And it costs you almost nothing in development to put those in. And just simply make another IR matrix if you're going 3D or whatever it is you're going to do. It costs you nothing to add more cabinets. Miko, ML Sound Lab, add more cabinets. Add more cabinets. Because you have access to one of the greatest halls of great impulse responses on this earth. And they're yours. You don't have to pay anybody for them. You don't have to, and you don't have to, it's not as if you have to make them for the plugin to add to your development time. You've already made them. They already exist. They're sitting there in a folder. Hey, pick me. Add extra cabinets. And I think that would add so much worth to these plugins. But yes, I am going to try it. I don't know what Vorna amp modeling means, but I'm going to use it. Their blackout, I will say, is one of the best 5150 plugins out there. I love it. Very one-dimensional in that it only kind of does one thing, but it does that one thing and that one sound so perfectly, guys. I'm going to use it. What the hell? Can't scroll up the comments. Why would you want to? I'm just kidding. Steve Atkinson? What? Hold on. Let's go back here. Morning from Australia, or is that Australia? I'm sure we have two people. We have you and Charlie Crease are both from Australia. Tyler, I'll put it this way. I'm a guitar snob, pickup snob, and Amp Fear. Is your favorite plugin for realsies? The Nembrini one is hard to beat. It's pretty good. The Neural one is even harder to beat. That one's really good. Really good. I have a friend of mine that loves the SL100, hates the Nembrini audio plugin for whatever reason. I can't figure it out. Loves the Neural DSP one. Does not use any other amp sims. That is the only amp sim he uses. I got him into amp sims, but it's the only one he uses. I tell him about a new one once in a while. Don't care. Still got this one. I'm all set. He's like, I've got the real amp in the other room. I've got the plugin based on my favorite amp. There's nothing else I need in life. Although he has started to get into impulse responses. Mostly so Soldano cabinets, though. All right. I am going to play some more guitar. We were just sort of taking a chat break here, guys. We tend to do that from time to time. I don't know, Rudy. The Miko 2 is a solid go-to. I like it. If only it was cheaper, so I could try the sorry. Did you ever try Dime Head Player? See, the thing is, though, Steve Atkinson missed the boat. Because Steve Atkinson, I'm not going to say it's just Steve Atkinson, but somebody, Dime Head Player also missed the boat. Because now IK Multimedia has Tonex boxes, Tonex pedals, Tonex turds. I don't like Tonex. And I don't think... And if you put NAM against Tonex, NAM crushes Tonex like the ocean killed the Titan sub. Just like... squish. And it was like with like 0% power, as in like you yawn and you accidentally stepped on something. Oh, what did I do? That's how hard the actual neural amp modeler smokes Tonex in every facet, on every level, in every way, shape, and form. But Tonex has all IK Multimedia and lots of money behind it. They pump those boxes out because they've already obviously been doing manufacturing for a very long period of time. They've already been doing all kinds of stuff they've got manufacturers, they've got all kinds of stuff set up. So it was really probably so fucking easy for them to figure all that out. And they're making a mint on software that just doesn't sound as good as even just the neural amp modeler. It's not close either. It's not close. It's not like they're neck and neck, back and forth. And then it's this one wins. It's just literally like this one starts the race and this one just stays at the starting line and coasts at about 20 kilometers an hour. And this one's just like lapping. And I'm not shitting on IK Multimedia because I like Amplitude. I'm really looking forward to the next Amplitude as well. And if you're wondering, is this a bluegrass country version of Seasons of the Abyss? Yes, it is. JVM Amp Knob was such a sick release. I remember feeling like a high schooler when I opened it. Nice. For me, I have plenty of plugins that have given me that, but I still remember the day that Igor emailed me and said he's like, I'm thinking about doing the Marshall JMP1. And I was just like, it's like every morning I'm checking my phone. I'm just like half asleep checking my phone. I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, I'm going to follow that up with the ADA MP1. And I'm just like, oh my God, just to quote Archer, oh my God, my penis only gets so erect. Like, just stop it. Stop talking. That was my childhood dream moment. Tell me in the chat, what was the plugin that came out that gave you the absolute nostalgia feels right in the childhood? Or most of us, gear doesn't really bring up the childhood as much as our teenage years, our 20s. So whichever, what does it what does it represent? Why? Tell me about it. For me, this is a good story. For me, I remember only going, I've had very few guitar lessons in my lifetime. My family could not afford guitar lessons. My only guitar lessons were the guitar magazines I bought and the occasional lesson every once in a while. I knew this guy that taught guitar, and he had sick gear. And he didn't charge that much. It was like $15 per lesson, but I didn't. $15 was like the fucking moon to me. I didn't have $5. I didn't have $2 back in those days. My grandmother every once in a while would be like, "You're working so hard on guitar, you know, like I want you to be able to get a lesson." You know, and so every once in a while I'd go get a lesson from this guy just because he had the ADA MP1. And I never really got to touch it. I got to play through it. Like he would plug me in and I would play for like no more than 5 minutes because this guy was kind of like an elitist and didn't want to listen to people that were beginners play real loud. So he would turn it down quite some and he wouldn't let me touch it, but he would dial it in for me and I would just play. And he's like, "You want to sound like Metallica? Sound like Metallica." And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is fucking amazing." And then the JMP one for me represents guitar magazine after guitar magazine after guitar magazine. Anybody that's my age that grew up reading guitar magazines, anybody that's my age that grew up reading guitar magazines will 100%. If you don't remember the ads for, sorry guys, let me try my mic here. If you guys don't remember the ads for the Marshall JMP1, like the golden lit up ads with even like probably a golden filter on them. It was nicely stacked on top of the matching golden power amps. They were inside a rack case or just stacked neatly on top of each other on top of a Marshall cabinet. Not that anybody would have in their right mind would ever use them that way. But man, it was just every guitar magazine. You'd just be like, flip, and I'm flipping. And then oh, there it is. There's the ad for the JMP one. So when these plugins came out, obviously as an adult, yeah, I make a little bit of, I make okay money, not great money, probably not even really good money, but I make enough money that I could go buy myself either of those pieces of gear for the nostalgia. But what are they going for right now? Like $1,000 for the ADA MP1, maybe $2. The JMP one I mean, they've been begging Marshall to reissue those and do a new version of those forever. They won't. So again, those have gotten quite valuable. Good luck. Good fucking luck finding those. So the plugin plays right. And then on top of that, I would not have a reason to use them. I wouldn't have a way to use them. There's no way I was like looking. I would just stare at it and look at it like it would be a paperweight. What am I going to put this through? The plugins are so much cheaper. In my case, they were free because I work with Igor from time to time. But still, even if bought at regular price, full price, $129.99, those plugins are still a way better investment than just going out and buying the actual piece of gear. Not that plugins have a good value, it wouldn't be a good investment, so to speak, but a good budgetary investment, probably, yes. CB4? No. Mm-mm. I know you don't care what anyone says. You know what I'm going to say about it. It's basically NAMM, but AI, which is... Okay. Xander, I could hear Resington play on a... Yeah, he could. Much like I feel like I fall into that category of people that can get a good tone out of just about anything. And if I can't get a good tone out of it, I'll admit defeat. There are not a lot of things out there that I pull a good tone out of though. That sounds really good. Let's turn this down a bit. Let's also turn this up a bit and this back a bit and see what we got. Yeah, that's even more twangy. And that, like I said, the 33 or the grind, or any of the various plugins out there. There's a ton of plugins out there right now that are just modeled from those, and you'll find them in a lot of different plugins, a lot of platforms, etc. Those sound really, really good with EMGs. Almost be worth EMG to do a plugin. That would be very interesting. EMG to do their own booster plugin that would sound really killer in a DAW. Interesting idea. Maybe I'll throw it at Tommy, see what he thinks. If someone made a sick EVH amp sim, I'd love it. Which ones have you tried? Have you tried Ampbox? Because if you haven't tried Ampbox, I would say that's your next stop. I feel like you can't be in the squad if you can't pull a good tone. I agree. I agree. You can be in this channel and you but if you can't get a good tone out of almost anything, we're going to teach you how to do that, and then you're going to be you'll be a lot happier to be around. You know? We can teach you. If you're out there right now and you're watching this even while it's live, or if you're watching it after the fact, okay? That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. If you're out there right now and you're watching this stream and you're struggling to get a good tone out of a particular plugin, if that plugin is Positive Grid's Bias Effects 2, we can't help you. But we can help you find something that sounds way better for sure. 100%. It's the only plugin. Sorry, guys. It's the only company I'm going to shit on hard in these streams. I don't like Tonex very much, and I do shit on Tonex from time to time, but I will shit on Positive Grid every single spare moment of my life if it helps out. If it helps steer people away from that software. So if you're having trouble getting a good sound out of those, there's nothing we can do to help you. There's zero. We can help you. Here's my if you're having trouble getting good tone with Positive Grid's Bias Effects, is step 1, go to apps. Step 2, uninstall. Step 3, get anything else. Go and get the Audioity L12X for free, Nambrini Audio Crunk for free, STL Emissary for free, and those all absolutely destroy that software you're just using. So then we'll start there. We'll find you some good software. But if you purchased a plugin that's not that plugin and you're having trouble getting a good sound, come at me. Come at us. And we're going to see what we can do to maybe help you out. Wouldn't that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? That would be fun. I think that would be very entertaining. And if I can't get a good tone out of it, then I will admit defeat. And if just bring it at me, go ahead. Not the second, because I'm already trying to get the best tones I can out of this here amp locker, but maybe we're going to do it. I don't know if it's not like an Ask Me Any, but what would we even call those streams? Tone Doctor? Dr. Tone? It's so boomery. Just call me Dr. Tone, man. I like Tone X, but for me, it takes some damn work. Yeah, I don't believe, guys, plugins are literally a technology that is supposed to eliminate work. The tone, especially the Tone X technology, it's supposed to be as simple can get. It is supposed to eliminate work trying to get a good tone, and it is not good tone. That I've never been able to get a good tone. Maybe 2 or 3 tones where I was like, okay, I'm satisfied, but nothing that was ever whoa. I can actually get whoa tones with amplitude, no problem. It'll take me 10 seconds. I can get a whoa tone. We're gonna call that from now. We're gonna call it them whoa tones from now on. I can get a whoa tone or wow tone out of NAM than just the standard NAM without NAM Universal, without any helpertons. I can get a better tone in 5 seconds. I can get a sick tone with 1 capture, and that's all it takes. Arlington Audio 5150 rectifier. We're done. That's it. It's a wrap. That actually sounds good. I have sat through Tone X and been like click, 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 thousands of clicks. I sat there for hours because I'm that type of person that when people I respect and creators I respect are like, whoa. And I'm like, I want to know, what do you hear? This is the same thing with Fishman. I want to know, what's this hype about? Are these things really that good? Is it just hype? One has to figure that out everyone has to figure that out for themselves. And I don't like that. I don't like I don't like being part of the hype process. How to dial that thang with Tone Daddy. Tone Daddy. And I'm gonna go get bowling shirts that have flames, like hot rod style flames on them. Oh, so good. So good. Oh man. Fishman is hype. They are good depending on what you use them for. I just compared it because Fishman was one of those things where I was like, I need to know, how are these people doing why are these people enjoying this? I can't seem to enjoy this. I want to know, what are they enjoying? I must not have done something right the last time I tried that. So I'm going to go try again. And then I try again. And it's like, that didn't work either. Well, I don't know then. You know what I mean? Eddie's PV Ultra is really great. Yeah, I agree. Man, there's a lot of stuff in that pack to mix, and it all sounds really good. All right, let's go back to the amp skis, and we're gonna pick a couple of more amps before we get out of here. And I'm gonna go watch the ball game. Go Blue Jays! You're a Canadian. It's all Blue Jays, guys. It's all Blue Jays up here. I'm sure there are people that go against the grain, and that's their right. The Berserk. Let's crush with this thing. I can't wait. Let's see what we got here. And what do we got operating right now? I want to try the Boostberry. Does anybody know what the Boostberry is based on? I know it'd be on their product page. Do I still have that queued up? I do not. I'm feeling like it's going to be that TC integrated preamp, but with one of the knobs ripped off. I feel like maybe that's it. Let's see. No, that's probably not it. What is clamping on me there? Do I have that other gate on? No. What's clamping on me? Is there a gate right in that amp? What's clamping on me? Nothing. It just sounded like it was. Okay. Wow. Mom. Turn you off and turn you on. I don't like this quite as much with the EMGs. This is going to be a no for me. I like it with passives a lot. I don't like it with the EMGs. I do want to go back here for a sec, though. That sounds pretty good. No, Rudy Castillo, I don't mean the Screamberry. I mean the Boost Berry. The Screamberry, yeah, very likely like an 808 or something. I mean the Boost Berry over here. They are different. I don't know that they would base the Boost Berry on... I don't think they would base both on Tube Screamas. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's try the Hyper. Hyper. Something, something. Remember that song? I've recently fallen back in love with like yellow Boss overdrives. You guys are gonna see more of them around here. I'm gonna be rotating those into the show a little bit more often because I just, for some reason, they've just been hitting me the right way. Website doesn't state too much about what the pedals and energy beep. So a Screamer is obviously TS. Just states dual band booster for the boost. Interesting. It's getting to be about that time, guys. About 2 hours in now. I did say we're actually, you know what? I said we're going to be here for a bit longer. So yeah, what games are you guys playing? I'm really curious. By the way, I'm so stoked to have refound. I didn't think I wanted to replay Far Cry 5 until I got into it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm going to leave Red Dead 2 for the fall and winter months, I do believe, because it feels like it's going to be a bit more of a fit. Plus, I'm going to have more time for it, whereas Far Cry, it's just sort of fun to jump in and out of. I restarted the remastered Far Cry 3, and it was just a little bit on the chonky side, and the controls are very chonky. Also, I'm pissed off. And yes, we talk about video games here from time to time. And if you're not a gamer, I do apologize. Not really at all, but sort of. But man, and we were talking about this not that long ago, I think in the group chat, or at least I was talking to one of the guys about this. A bunch of us are big Far Cry game fans. And the next one was rumored. And the big thing went out that there was going to be snowmobiles. It was going to be based in Alaska, and it was going to have an oil tycoon, an evil oil tycoon, kind of at the helm of everything. And he was going to be like, they were saving some different lands. It was going to be almost like that not on Deadly Ground. What's the Seagal movie? Maybe they realized it was going to be too much like that Seagal movie, and they decided, no, we're not going to do this. But now apparently they're just going to. It sounds like they're just going to fucking remake Far Cry 6 and make it, instead of a Latin dictatorship, they're going to be using and some sort of, like, how they used it was sort of like Puerto Rico, but it wasn't Puerto Rico, but it was like wink, wink. It's fucking Puerto Rico or Cuba or something. It's not Cuba, but it is Cuba, but it's not, but it is. They used all those components and they made Far Cry 6. I think that this is now. I went and reread to see if there was any more news. Well, apparently I haven't looked in a long time because they redid the whole fucking thing. Apparently it's going to be on another fictional island, and it's going to be a part of, and it's going to be, again, it's an Asian dictator this time. I hope I don't know if it's actually going to be an Asian dictator or like the Peg and Min one where it was just like a random white dude with blonde hair. That was at the helm of everything, but that was, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Are you guys a big fan of the Far Cry games? I was really upset. Not really upset. I was just like, oh, fuck, really? Because I was excited for a snow Far Cry. That was the best thing about it. It was going to be snow Far Cry. The woman and I, the wife and I, we're like, this is exciting because it's almost like they're going to make a Far Cry around this area right around here because it's always winter here. Not all the time. 2 months we get on. Still. Anyhow, tell me what you guys think. Executive Decision is the one. He died in 2 minutes. Deadly Ground. Was it on Deadly Ground? But wasn't On Deadly Ground the one where he was living at the house with the lady, and he was trying to protect her land, and that there was some people that like wanted her land or something, and he ended up getting like with the lady. I can't remember now. There's the one in where he beats up the oil worker for picking on the indigenous guy in the bar. And he does that, put your hands up, put your hands up. That one. The only Steven Seagal movie I ever really liked. And then when I say like, I mean, I say they take that with a grain of salt. They're fun movies to watch if you watch them with some of the stories that go along with them. Go ahead and search right up here, midstream, I don't care. Look up some of the crazy stories about some of the Steven Seagal movies and some of the things that happened and some of the things he's done over the years. Man, it's amazing that that guy stayed in Hollywood for even as long as he has been. Machine Head, Tone 5150, and Ibanez RG with an 81 and an 808 overdrive. Sick. Yeah, Mark for Death is pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie. Which is the one where he plays the guy Mason Storm, where he goes in like into a coma. On Deadly Ground was like had to be the biggest budget Seagal movie though. That was his prime. Oh, wait. You also can't. What was the one on the boat? Fuck. Why am I forgetting everything? My memory is so shot. What's the one on the boat, guys? God dang it. It had Erica Elniak in it. Above the Law. Nice. That's a good... you know what? I guess there's more Seagal movies I like than I thought. But then there's a fine line. And when I say fine line, there's not a fine line. It's a big, thick, giant line that's between the classics and the rest of Seagal's movies that are just like an hour and a half of him. It's just like asinine movies. Who is still filming these movies? Who's still giving Steven Seagal money to make movies? I need to know this because he's still making them. Even up as to last year, he made this movie like 2 years ago where he was like Top Gun, and it's hilarious. There's this one YouTube page that goes through all his movies and just rips them all apart. It's Under Siege, and there was Under Siege and there's Under Siege 2. Both of them were solid. But Under Siege, the first Under Siege was also pretty big budget. Tommy Lee Jones was fucking great in that movie too. Super good. Man, okay, fine. Steven Seagal has more good movies than I thought. Is it time for a fucking Steven Seagal movie marathon for me? I think so. That's it. That's happening. Tyler, my chick is a movie nut and a family owned a video store for years. It's funny enough, my mom worked at a movie store for most of my childhood, so I guess we have kind of a same thing happening where I could just literally say, Mom, bring home this movie, and she would just bring it home from work. It'd be awesome. It was awesome. Except for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I remember the first day they got the VHS tapes, somebody didn't listen to my mom's note that said, please save for Tyler when it comes in. Somebody rented it. My mom was super pissed. Somebody rented it. And I sat there the next day, all day at the movie store. Literally sat there with my mom, helping her with her job until somebody brought that movie back. And then I took it and I sprinted home and watched it. Yeah, true story. All right, guys. I am actually going to get moving here. I'm going to go and hang out and do a bunch of relaxing, as basically the next month of my time is going to be a really difficult endeavor. Very difficult endeavor. The majority of the work that we're doing on this disc golf course, guys, is happening in the next month and a half, starting next Tuesday. I'm going to be around significantly less for daytime for streams. And the month of August is going to be very hit and miss. It's going to be really going to depend. So I just putting that out there now that July was the month of streaming, whereas the month of August is probably going to be, it's even going to be tough for me to maintain my regular Friday, Saturday schedule, but we'll still maintain a couple streams per week, and it's going to be a good time. I'm going to be putting what time I can towards doing some pre-recorded stuff as well in what little free time I have. Streams take up about 2 hours. The pre-recorded stuff takes up about a half an hour per video between filming it and editing and putting it together. So I'm going to have to make sure I get some of that done on my Christmas. Wow. On some of my summer break. I'm excited though. I'm excited for the next month. It's going to be a lot of work, but guys, it's going to be worth it in the long run. We will have a beautiful place to play the sport we all know and love. As far as we, I mean me and the other community that I'm a part of. But if you're out there and you're interested, guarantee you, just ask me, the Amp Sim universe, or even ask me midstream. No one's really comfortable sharing, and don't share where you're from in the stream. You can share what city you're from, I suppose, but that could be kind of sketchy as well. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that, just email me, the Amp Sim universe @gmail.com, and I will tell you the closest disc golf courses to your home. I have a whole big thing that tells me exactly what's where and when and how many holes and how good it is and what you should watch out for. So get at me. If it's a sport you want to learn, I will help you get started. If it's Amp Sims you want to learn, I will get you started. And guys, here's what I'm also going to do. I'm going to get you started on your weekend. This is what we did say. Hopefully the rest of your weekend is great. I will not be seeing you guys tomorrow. And Sunday is a slight possibility, although very, very unlikely as well. So I will see you guys next week for a couple of streams before I get started on my Hell Month. And we're going to have some fun and do a couple of small giveaways while we're at it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thank you for being a part of what we do here. It wouldn't be fun without you guys, and I guarantee you it wouldn't be fun without you guys. So I'm going to be here. I'm always here for you guys, by the way. If there's something you guys are struggling with, or if there's something you're really curious about, don't be afraid to email. It may take me a couple days to get back to you, but I always get back to people that email me. Please don't feel you can't do that. Also, make sure to check out our sponsors, Mindsinger Guitars and Aurora Tone Pickups, in the link in the description. By the way, I have also noticed we have about 15 videos now that need me to go and do all the cleanup work. So I'm going to go do that today and tomorrow as well. Thank you once again. Oh, plan on checking back into disc golf as well, man. Yeah, man. You know what? Disc golf. Before I get out of here, Xander Banners, you bring up a good point. You're feeling lazy as fuck, but we all know as adults, we need to get out and be active or our bodies will deteriorate. You need to get out, and disc golf is one of those ways that makes walking fun. I don't just like aimlessly walking. It's not fun for me. I don't really like it. I need to be occupied. I don't even like just walking and listening to music. I need to be occupied and doing something. I can walk 4 to 5K on a course and not even really realize that I've just walked anywhere from 3 to 5K. You don't even notice that you're walking that much, and you're having such a good time while strategizing and having a good time while doing it. Once again, Xander, if you want to get at me, I can help you. If you don't have discs, I can even send you some. No problem. All right, guys. Cheers. Thank you so much. My challenge for you this week, check out everything that Audio Assault has to offer. Get on their email list as well, because they do a lot of sales, and their sales blow their stuff out at prices that, honestly, I don't even feel good about promoting, because the regular prices are so low as it is. They tend to give away plugins for like $1, $2, $5 regularly. And those cab packs can completely change amp blocker for you for $5 a pop, $4 a pop, etc. So check those all out. Thank you once again, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.
Name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry and the prestige.